Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us over at liveitloveitdoit.com. Today starts the very first entry to the Living in Your Pride series. And I'm so excited because today I have with me the beautiful, the stunning, the incomparable Guinness Book of World Record holder for the largest, most beautiful Afro, Miss Aevin Dugas. Aevin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Tia. Hi, y'all. Hey.
I see you got it up in a little puff today. You ready to give it to us
I
all?
have it in a puff today.
It looks good.
I put it in a puff.
It looks good. So I'm just jump right into it. I won't take up too much of your time, but I just want to talk to you a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
Know a little bit about you. So just tell us a little bit about you. How'd you get started, and tell us about your beautiful hair and everything.
Okay, you want to know how I got started with Guinness or going natural?
Both. Just take us through a brief journey. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, as you know, I had spoken to you earlier. I got a perm when I was 12. Went through a whole bunch of drama with that. 13 years, and then my hair really didn't start growing until like a senior in high school. Then 13 years ago, I decided to go natural. Mm-hmm. I went back and forth trying to go natural for a couple of years before that, but I could never figure out how to do it. Wow. A friend of mine told me what to do, so I started getting my hair braided and, doing different styles to where I wouldn't have to mess with it too much. And then one day I just decided to cut the hair off, and ever since then I've been going natural. It'll be 13 years, I think, next week. Okay. And I get my ends trimmed about 2-3 times a year. I don't do a lot, like, a lot of people do a lot to their hair.
Yeah.
My regimen is very, very simple. It really is. Like, doing my hair, like putting it in a puff like this, may take altogether 45 minutes. So for me, my hair is very simple because I've learned my hair and I know what to do with it.
And that's what would have been my leading question, because a lot of people think that, with natural hair, you have to do a lot. You have to use a lot of products. You have to do this. You have to do that. But it's really, as we talked about a little bit earlier, the less is more. Simple is better in most cases.
Right.
So what would you say is the biggest misconception about natural hair in general?
The biggest misconception is that you don't have to do much to it, because it does require work. It does require you to comb it. You can't just let it go for days at a time. Like if your hair was relaxed, you wouldn't let it go for days at a time. Right. If you were wearing, some kind of weave style, you wouldn't not comb it or brush it. So you still have to maintain it. You still, you have to condition it. You don't have to grease your scalp. I don't grease my scalp. And you don't have to put as many hours into it as what people put into it. Yeah. But that usually comes over time, because you have to pretty much learn what works for you. And then once you find out what works for you, stick to that. Don't have somebody come and tell you, oh, well, I tried this and it works, and then you go jump on that. And then you're back to sitting there doing your hair for 3 and 4 hours.
Right.
Just take your time, learn your hair. Once you learn your hair, stick to your regimen, nobody else's.
So what would you say is the biggest misconception about your hair?
Let me see. Yeah, most people think that it takes forever to do my hair. And it's so, outside of if I blow dry my hair straight and do mini twists, which I haven't done that in probably about 2-3 years, because the last time I did it, it took 6 hours. Mm-hmm. It does not take me that long to do my hair, believe it or not. Like, to put it into a fro, I wash it, I condition it, I put it in 2 French braids going to the back, and then once they dry, I just pick it out and spray a little water and conditioner, and that maybe takes a little time because I want to get it in the right shape, but my hair really doesn't take as long as what people think.
So, and people find that, they expect to see you in a fro all the time, like we were talking about that a little bit earlier too. They think, oh, you wear this fro every day.
Yes, people think, they're supposed to see me walking around with a 4-foot plus fro every day, and no, I do not do that most of the time. Right? Most of the time, I hit, like, even this is different for me. Like, I haven't, when I put my puff in like 2 nights ago, my sister was like, hey, Puff, because I don't wear it often. So most of the time, my hair is in a simple bun. I don't even do twist outs. Like, I'm looking at your hair, you make me want to go wash this and redo mine. But I don't really do a lot with my hair. I usually have it in a bun. So, and the bun is only about this, this big. Mm-hmm. So really and truly, you wouldn't even think I have all that hair on my head. Most people, if somebody says, oh, she has the biggest afro, they look at me and they're like, no. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're not going to recognize me if you saw me.
Right. They're like, Aevin who? So what do you think, how has society impacted African American beauty? I mean, do you think that we just basically do whatever society says? Because that's what I feel. We've gotten away from our roots, our natural, literal roots, which are tied to our cultural history. So how do you see that, or how do you feel that society has affected our standards of beauty?
Well, I mean, of course, you get that whole, straight hair is beautiful. Like, even if you watch certain commercials, there's a commercial for, the one that's a curling iron and a brush at the same time. Mm-hmm. And they show the girl with hair that looks like ours, and they're like, do you want this frizzy mess, or would you prefer straight hair? Right. And I get, I know he doesn't mean anything by it, but I get offended because to me, her hair looks perfectly fine.
Right.
So even though people love my fro, and if he saw it, I would think that he would like it too. Mm-hmm. When you show a picture like that, a little black girl, or even a little Caucasian girl, because some Caucasian women have naturally curly hair and they're always trying to straighten it. Right. Italian women, Latino women. So when they see that, they think, oh my God, that's so ugly. And it's really not. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful thing for your hair to be, beautiful and curly and thick. Bone straight is not necessarily the at-all be-all of beautiful hair.
Right.
Right.
And I think that it's like we fail to remember, or we don't recognize that those people that aren't African American, they're trying to strive to keep their hair every day. It's not, they want the body, so why is it that we can't accept that, what we've been born with, and say that is beautiful? Why do we feel like we have to wear a weave or a wig in order to be beautiful? So society does have a lot, to do with that. Right. So how important is it to be connected with your culture?
It's very important for me. I'm coming from a small southern town. Of course, being connected to my culture is very important. But as I said earlier, I try not to make it a black thing. It's like for females, period. Mm-hmm. Hair is a big thing.
Right.
And I heard two ladies in the store one time, and they were talking that they weren't black. I'm not sure what they were, but they were having a conversation about how it's in society they want you to have straight hair. Mm-hmm. And I was just laughing because I'm like, wow, so y'all deal with it too.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course I'm definitely connected with my culture. Very proud of who I am and where I'm from. But, when it comes to this hair thing, it's a female thing. Like we had, hair is, if your hair doesn't look good, you don't want to leave out of the house.
Right.
And I think all females of all cultures, of all races, should learn to embrace their naturally curly hair. If you want to sometimes straighten it, that's fine. I'm not one to say don't straighten your hair. But embrace your curly hair. Is a beautiful thing. It really is.
It is.
And length is not everything. Your hair does not have to be down your back in order for it to be pretty. If God only intended for your hair to go this long or this long, then you work with that. You style it, and you keep it moving. Be proud of whatever it was that was given to you.
Right. And that's the key. That's the key, being proud of what you have and being able to work with what you have, So that definitely, that speaks volumes. So lastly, what does living in your pride mean to you?
Living in my pride just means being who I am, not with somebody. I'm not trying to be what somebody else is. I used to get that a lot. When I first went natural, they called me Erica Badu, India.Arie. I'm proud of who I am.
Right.
I try to do what I feel is right. I don't try and follow, even like with natural, a lot of naturals, they get, on certain kicks about certain things. And it's like, we're all coming from the same, beginning point, our hair. We just want to look pretty. We want our hair to be pretty. We want to wear it so that we feel good. So for me, I do what feels good for me.
Right.
You know, I try not to follow what other people do. I try not to, like, if I see somebody with a certain hairstyle, if I look at it and say, I know I can't get my hair like that, then, you know, it's no big deal for me. I'm proud of my hair. I'm proud of what my hair can do. My hair doesn't do what everybody else's hair does. My style isn't like other people. You know, I do what I want to do. Pretty much just do what makes you feel good.
So what would you say to those sisters who are afraid to go natural? They want to go natural. They might be wearing a wig over their natural hair. You know, they might be wearing a weave over it. You know, what would you say to those sisters to say, hey, go ahead and do it. Take the plunge.
I would just say, I mean, there's so much, when your hair is natural, there's so many things that you can do with it. Because, you know, I can go from this to, I mean, if I wanted, I can go from this to bone straight. Mm-hmm. I can go from this to how you're wearing your hair right now, which, by the way, is so pretty.
Thank you.
I can go from, you know, I can put it in beautiful braids. I can put it, you know, I can do a twist and curl where, you know, it looks like Joan, but it's not Joan.
Right.
You know, so think about all the style. And yes, you can get it with the weave, but what's wrong with doing it with your own hair?
Right.
You know, and definitely if you're wearing a weave, then you might as well be natural. Right. You know, I got my best friend who swore she would never go natural because I was like, well, if you're going to cover your hair with fake hair, why would you perm the hair underneath it? I mean, you might as well just let it grow out natural.
Exactly.
You know, and then every now and then, if you feel like it, you can wear your own hair.
Right.
So, you know, just, I mean, natural hair is a beautiful thing. And it's what we were born with. Right. Like, how can you be embarrassed of something that you were born with? That'd be like altering your skin color. I mean, we were born with this hair. This is the hair that you should be wearing. Okay. If you want to alternate and wear something else, it's kind of like makeup. If you want to change it up, fine. But there's nothing wrong with the hair that we were born with. It's beautiful. I mean, look at your hair. Look at this. I mean, a lot of people, they can't do this kind of stuff with their hair.
Right.
You know, to me, it's like, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, Aevin, it's been a pleasure. Before we go, tell the people where to find you, how to reach you, if you're going to be at any events this summer. Where are you going to do? Where are you going to be?
Okay, you can find me on Facebook at Aevin Dugas. You can find me on Twitter at Aevin, Aevin, Jude, Jude. AevinDugas.com will be up soon, so you can find me there. Next week for the meetup, I will be in Alabama, I think. Oh, and keep up with my Twitter, because that's where usually I'm starting to put stuff up there to tell you where I'm going and where I'll be.
Okay.
So look for me on Aevin Jude at Twitter. Well, on Twitter. I don't know. I'm not good with this stuff, y'all. I'm trying to get into the social media stuff. So just give me a minute. I'm trying.
Well, I'll have all your info, you know, on the site. Everything will be there. So, you know, they can reach you. And again, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for asking me. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Everybody, there you have it. Miss Aevin Dugas.